So then, hi people, welcome back to Sparta Survival. My name is Gage. So I'm going to be doing a different video today. It's actually a look at the MTP Bergen British Army issue. It's sitting around about 70 litres at the moment. You can add external pouches to make it 150 litres. But more than anything, we're going to be taking a look at the contents of the inside of the Bergen for what I've currently planned for a 24-hour solo camp out adventure. So this is the Bergen as it sits. It's quite heavy. I'd rather overpack than underpack, especially considering it's only a 24-hour adventure. So let's get the camera up on the table and we'll have a look inside. Right then, so the rain is coming down pretty hard outside. You might be able to hear on the camera, I'm not too sure. However, the cabin is now warmed up, the log burner's going and there's a nice warm cup of coffee, so I'm happy to work. So let's jump right in. First off, we have a shelter inside this. It's a MTP Basher or Tarp British Army issue again, and it's housed in an Osprey water bottle pouch. This is an external pouch, as I said, so it's easy to get to if the weather changes for the worst. It's an MTP Basher or tarp, and with this there is about 6 to 8 tent pegs, just in case I don't have the time to make stakes out of some wood. Alongside this there is a Hanker paracord, 550 paracord, and that just helps secure everything in and help me build different structures with this, such as A-frames, lean-tos like that if I need to use this and tie a bit up. So that's on the external pouches. So that's the first one, the MTP Basher. That will be my shelter for the 24-hour overnighter. For people who want to know the specifics and the weights, this is with the Hanker paracord, it's 1.4 kg, so it's quite hefty for a shelter that's supposed to be so small, but nonetheless it'll do the trick and it's made to last. So next up, again very close to the top, is my fire kit in a nice little leather bushcraft pouch, so also known as a tinder pouch as well. You can search these up on eBay or even feel free to make your own, as I did not long back on my Instagram page. So inside here is things to get a fire going in an emergency situation. Again, like I said, it's close to the top purely for an emergency situation. Anything on top of the Bergen or external you want to be able to reach and grab fast in a survival or emergency situation. So we have a small Ziploc bag of dried birch bark, if the camera will pick that up there. This stuff is great to take a spark even when it's wet, so if you're ever out and you come across a birch tree, definitely grab some of this stuff. Next up, of course, just a knife. I like to have multiple knives on me when I'm hiking or camping, purely for many different reasons. Then is the Wild Peaks fire starter. This has had quite a beating, as you can tell, but it throws some humongous sparks, so that is worth every penny. I could advise looking into them and possibly even getting one. Then I've had this possibly since day one, at least probably 4 to 5 years old, and this is my fire starting tin. So there's fat wood, stormproof matches, of course, everyone's got to have some of those, some natural charcoal fire lighters, 2 of those, some natural flint just in case, and as you can see at the bottom there's some more fire lighters, some sulfur sticks and much more in there. So that's the tinder tin, as we shall call it. And last but not least in here is a pellet of Dragonfire gel. Now this stuff is tried and tested by many people all across the world, including myself, and it has never loosed me down. In fact, a good friend of mine named Funky Prepper done some extensive tests on this, some really torture tests, and this withheld everything. I mean, he froze it, he put water on it, and this still got a fire going after all of that. So for the price of these, I do believe they're 6 for £3. You can't turn that price down. So with all this, it's pretty much fail proof to get a fire going, and that's what's in my tinder bag for my fire kit. Again, right on the top as well. Well then, the next part, this is about the midway down of the Bergen, aka the rucksack. This is snacks and foods. So first off, I'd just like to say this is all British Army ration pack, and to be precise, it's out of a menu 15B. Anyone who's served in the forces will definitely know why this menu, purely for that reason right there. Oh yeah, the all day breakfast. So we'll kick it off with that. As soon as I arrive at my base camp, we'll start off with this. For breakfast, I'm planning to arrive there quite early, about 6 AM to 7 AM. And then for dinner, it will be beef goulash along with long grain rice. And I've never tried beef goulash out of a ration pack before, so I will be looking forward to this. However, the rice, yeah, can't really veg for that stuff, it's a bit dry, but it'll do the trick. Or should I say it'll do the job even. Then for tea or for supper, it's Moroccan style bean stew. Again, never tried this one out of a ration pack before, so looking forward to trying some new different things. And I'd just like to point out, all of this is very high in calories, very high in sodium, carbohydrates, to keep your energy levels up on the trail and keep the spirits high in camp as well. Actually, before we jump into those, just in case I get a sweet tooth on the trail, it's a bit of apple turnover. Looking forward to this one. And for some snacks, there is some roasted and salted peanuts. Again, these are very high in healthy oils, healthy fats, and calories to keep you going on the trail. So if anyone's interested in that, it's a bit hard to read as they're vacuum packed, but you know, if you want to go ahead and pause it, there's the information on those. Alongside this is some drinks, so some instant hot chocolate, just put hot water with it. That should be nice before I go to bed if I feel like it. And then we have these are personally my favourite things out of a ration pack. This one is cola flavoured drink powder, and all you have to do is just add cold water and it turns to Coca-Cola. That is great. However, it ain't fizzy, but it still tastes quite nice. And next up is raspberry, and that does exactly the same thing, just add cold water and you're away. However, if I feel like hot drinks throughout the day, I have a few instant coffees and tea bags to go alongside, and 2 white sugars. However, I don't like too much sugar in my coffee or my tea, and a few creamers. Now there's 2. A few creamers to go along with it as well. Then, on top of everything, as we say, keep the breath fresh on the trail. We've got some chewing gum. Just 2 packs of that, and they have 2 in each one, so you know, just a little refresher after eating. And to clean up with some alcohol-free antibacterial wipes. Now, if these was not alcohol-free, just pure alcohol wipes that you use for cleaning wounds out, quick tip, them great to take in a spark to get a fire going as well. And also, every ration pack does come with these. There's 6 tablets of water purification tablets. Them small tabs you can drop into a litre of water and it purifies it straight up for you. So, you know, just if anyone's interested, you always get those in a ration pack as well. Every ration pack does come with those. Well, British ones do anyway. And next up, of course, oh yeah, last but not least, it's the one and only Tabasco sauce. Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You can't have a ration pack without this stuff, so that's definitely going. So overall, that will be my, hopefully, all of my food, apart from a few more snacks. I might pick up some trail mix as well, alongside this. But I'm hoping that will be the main majority of my food to be taking with me on this 24-hour solo camp out. then, so this brings us into our next part of cooking equipment more than anything. So first we've got the, the normal propane canister. Quite a big one actually. Have used it though, not long back. So there should be enough left at least for, maybe 2 campouts, maybe possibly even 3. Next up to that is the Combat stove burner, which is just a quick attachment to that propane can right there, and this looses out some serious heat, so that's perfect for the job. Then of course the standard British Army make knife, fork, spoon, and the 58 Crusader. As you can see, this has been used many times. It's been with me for a few years now, and this has never loosed me down. It's perfect. So that's the 58 Crusader right there. Now right here I've got a couple of saucepans, one for your eggs if you want one, or I might use it for other reasons, but I like to take them anyway, and just a standard saucepan as well. And last but not least is the stainless steel trivet to put right on top of your campfire, so you could even char your food or cook right on top without everything going in the ash and get ash all in your drink and everything as well. So this is stainless steel, British made, just as these are as well. These are in the colour of forest brown. These 3 items as well you can actually get from my eBay page, which I'll link in the description. I will be trying to grow that with more survival items, bushcraft, camping items and equipment, as well as, military surplus gear as well. All budget friendly, so everyone can have a little view, have a little look as well. So overall what we have here is the cooking equipment, what I will be using on my campout as well. All beginner friendly for the people who are just getting into it. I would definitely recommend looking at this and this as well if you're just getting into this kind of stuff. Can't really go wrong with a propane stove. However, I will be trying to make everything on the open fire, but you can't predict the weather. Can't be 100%, no one's got a crystal ball, so always take backups, hence the name Prepper. So always be prepared for any situation, especially in the winter. We've been having some snowstorms recently. Not too bad, but good enough that would put your survival chances in a disadvantage. So always have plenty of options, as I have here. Right then, so we are getting through slowly but surely, and this is next up. Now this is kind of big. I don't even know if it fits all in the picture, possibly not, but never mind, you get the idea. It's a sleeping bag. It's a British Army 4 Seasons Arctic sleeping bag in a British Army dry pack as well, so you can squeeze this right down. Compressed sack, it's waterproof, keep everything nice and tight. This is quite heavy. This weighs 1.7 kg. Now that's kind of heavy for a sleeping bag. However, it's worth every penny, and it's worth every single pound of weight to carry this. This will keep you really warm, especially in the winter. I'll try and bring this camera up a little bit so I can get a bit more in frame. That's the overall view of it right there. I'm not going to get it out just purely because of the size, and it'll just take forever to get it back in as well. So that is my sleeping system. That will go underneath my basher, or aka the tarp, and that will keep me nice and warm as well. So we're getting through them. That is in the bottom of my Bergen. So underneath this now is just a layer of clothes, which I'm not really going to go through, purely for the sake of it might be a little bit boring. So that will be the last item in the Bergen. However, there is a lot of accessories that I haven't gone through just yet, so stick around, and the next part will be all the accessories on the inside and the outside of the Bergen. So that includes the knives, the axes, electronical equipment as well. It's a sad but true reality that technology is a big part of 90% of everyone's life, so I will be going through solar chargers and things like that as well. So let's jump right into that. Right then, so this is my favourite part, the accessories. So some of these will be carried inside and externally on the Bergen, and of course some will be carried on myself, such as the paracord bracelet. But however, this is not your standard paracord bracelet. We'll get into that in just a minute. So we'll first off start with the Gerber torch. This one right here. This is a waterproof torch as well. I've had these for probably 3 years and haven't even changed the battery, and as you can tell, it's still as good as day one. It also comes with a dry compartment at the top. If that focuses on there, it does have a fire starting symbol, just to indicate this is where you could keep possibly dry tinder. However, it houses very nicely a battery. As you can see, quite dusty, like I said. Haven't even changed the battery in 3 years. So the best thing about this torch is, apart from it being waterproof and reliable, and also quite inexpensive for the quality it is. It's quite rugged, quite heavy. That is because you can carry one battery for use and one in the back as well for a spare in case that one ever runs out. But it's very energy efficient. It'll keep on going for a very long time. Next up is the Hank paracord. Just like I have one in my shelter kit, this is one that I normally carry on myself. Comes in handy quite a lot. So this is a 10 foot of paracord, 550 again. Then it's the more reliable solar charger. This one's got many ports on the bottom and can also be run off batteries as well. So this one always goes in my bag in a dry sack, just to, you know, eliminate the chances of any water or rain getting into it, although it has been tested for shower proof. I wouldn't say completely waterproof, but definitely for shower proof. Then, you know what, we'll go straight for the first aid kit. Now this was just a bog standard cheap first aid kit, and I've upgraded it over the time with things I find best and that I use more in the woods. So I'm not going to be going all the way through that, purely because we'll be here forever and a day, just as anything else if we went all the way through things. But we'll jump right to the paracord bracelet next. Now, as I said, this isn't your standard paracord bracelet. This is actually one I made myself. Inside there's fishing equipment, a can opener. Well, you know the British Army can openers. One of those. There is a stormproof match as well. Some tinder, some fire wick as well, some tape. All inside, embedded inside the paracord. As you can see, it's kind of straight across the top. That's some stuff, and on the sides, but it still fits very comfortably and very good for a survival situation. So that's always on my wrist whenever I'm out camping as well. Then it's the EDC keychain for the Bergen. On this there is another solar charger, as you can see, or possibly see. It's charging now, it's on green with the sun in the windows. A monkey's fist. Now that's just made out of paracord and a lead ball in the middle. Possibly might be stainless steel ball. That's just a self-defense weapon, but you know, I was carried anyway. Totally legal in the UK as well. And then 3 dry compartments, stash pots as well for tinder or whatever you want to carry, maybe an extra battery or something. So that always goes on my Bergen as well. That never really goes off my Bergen. That goes everywhere with me when I have it on my back as well. So overall, that's the accessories that I carry inside, outside and on myself all the time whenever I'm camping. Not just on this solo overnighter, but all the time whenever I go on a hike. This is always there as well. Right then, so last but not least, we have the tools and equipment, such as like knives and things like that. So this is what I'll be carrying on the overnighter. It's the Husqvarna hatchet, the small axe, and it's already been pre-sharpened, ready for the trip, with a nice leather mask. I do believe, I think it's a £2 head, not entirely sure, but if you want to know, just have a look, research the name. That's quite a nice heavy hatchet. I've used it many times in the woods and at home as well for chopping firewood. Never loose me down, still razor sharp. I'll definitely be going on the side of my Bergen. Next up is the, I do believe you pronounce this called the Barho. It's a Laplander saw. These are issued to the Navy SEALs as well. It's a folding saw. As you can see, it's had a lot of use and it's still razor sharp. Just look at them teeth on there, it's perfect. So that will definitely be going as well to process some firewood. Makes the job a lot easier when you've got good tools on your side. Next up, like you saw in the fire tinder bag earlier, it's the Opinel knife. Again, already sharpened up and ready for the trip. This one's ready to go. And of course, this always goes on my belt when I'm there now. It's the Mora. So again, another one, razor sharp, already been sharpened up, ready for the trip. All of these will be going with me. I've always put these, you know, straight through the test and none of them have failed me so far. So this will be my choice of tools and equipment that I'll be taking with me. Got a bit cold now. However, almost at the end of the video. But before I leave you, I'd just like to show you the last one apart, which is a British Shemagh covering a 6mm roll mat. That'll just be rolled out at night and I'll sleep on top of it, just to keep me off the ground a bit more insulated and keep me a bit more warmer than what I should be. So overall, this will be what I'm taking on the 24-hour solo adventure campout, or whatever else you'd like to call it. Feel free to leave a comment on what you would like to take in the woods, or what you do take. Again, this is my personal preference and my opinion and what I feel comfortable with. So thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to check out my Instagram. I do post there multiple times a day, HD content, pictures, videos, every single day I do post there. So again, feel free to check that out. Also check out the eBay store for budget friendly gear. There will be multiple items going up there pretty soon. There's already a few on there but not too much, but again, feel free to check it out. And you know, hit the like button, drop a subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one very soon. Cheers.